The first asynchronous turn-based football app has been launched, and it's now available on iPhone and Android. The app has its roots deep in the Kansas City entrepreneurial tech culture. Versus Football launched last Saturday. The brains behind the app all joining me now in studio, and those are Engage Mobile founders Darren and Clawson and Matthew Barksdale. They've been handling development of Engage Versus Football, and then Chris Austin is the creative force behind the app. Thanks you all for joining me today.
Great to be here.
Yeah, so this was the idea of you, Chris. Tell me how you came up with the idea.
You bet. I was playing a lot of Words with Friends with guys in my fantasy football league, and decided it'd be a lot more fun if I was playing football instead. So that's where the idea kind of got its genesis. And after a recommendation from the folks at the Kansas City Startup Village, I found Engage Mobile. I was really interested in using a Kansas City firm to develop, and these guys made a lot of sense.
So you are in California now?
I am.
And so how did you connected with Darren and Matthew through the Startup Village?
Through a contact at the Startup Village, and got them on the phone. I'd talked to a ton of app development firms and mobile development firms, and I really liked their approach, and I liked that they were in Kansas City since I was born and raised here.
All right. So, Matthew, you got the call. What did you think when you first heard about this?
Yeah. So
Darren, feel free to chime in.
Oh yeah.
We're giant football fans. So the ability to marry kind of two of our passions of mobile technology and football was kind of a dream come true in terms of a product. And definitely when we heard the concept, it was very, very exciting and thought something we really want to get involved in. Because it is Words with Friends meets football, and we searched everywhere, and there's nothing like it. So it's a fantastic concept that we were all over it from the very, very beginning.
So what about like the team names? Do you use actual NFL team names? Did you have to get rights to that, or do you name your own team?
Yeah, pretty much we decided to go down the name your own team. So much like in fantasy football, part of the fun in connecting with your friends in your circle and your network is, picking names that I know are relevant to that group and between me and that person, right? So I'll pick different team names when I'm playing with my 6-year-old son than I do when I'm playing with my buddies out of my fantasy league. So it's a lot of fun.
So how's it gone so far? I mean, first week rolled out. What's been surprisingly good? What's been surprisingly challenging?
We launched on Saturday, and we've really just opened it up to family and friends. We haven't spent $1 on marketing yet. So we're seeing really good response so far. A thing I'm most proud of, and is that we are already above the official Oakland Raiders football app.
So when I went out to grab you guys, you were all three had your noses in your phones. I'm going to assume that you were playing Versus Football. Is that the case?
Yeah, we've got a lot of friends and family and clients and people all over the country that are getting kind of on the bandwagon, so to speak. So literally, you just go to the Android store or the iTunes store, go to VS football, and download. And yes, we're playing people all over the country. It's a lot of fun.
So how long does it take for a game to how long is the typical run of a game? I mean, Words with Friends, it'll take me. I mean, if we're really going at it, we can finish it in a day.
Right.
Typically a couple of days for the game to wrap up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think ours is very similar. And I think we're still playing with that format. We've designed the game so that we can actually change its behaviors on the fly. So we can watch and see how people are responding, reacting, how fast games are taking. We can adjust all of that on the back end system so we can actually affect it. And then the other thing we found is we're really trying to tap into this turn-based gaming trend in mobility because people have less time. So the key for this application, what makes it fun, is that when you've got a quick slice of time and you just need a mental break for a second, you can literally jump in here and very quickly, less than 20, 30 seconds, you can think about what you want to do, pick a play, and it's off and running. It doesn't. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to understand. So you use the touch screen and you actually move your players the way. Explain to me how it actually works.
Yeah. So the game itself is really designed around a strategy and selecting plays that are appropriate for that game situation. So it might be 1st and 10, and I'm deep in my own zone, and so I'm going to be probably a little more conservative. I'm probably going to call a running play, and so it's more like you're the coach, and you're going to select the plays that are going to be played. And I'll pick an offensive play. you get a push notification, and whenever you get time, you go in and you pick the defensive play, and then we run that through a very intelligent outcome decision engine that Chris's connections have really helped us grow the engine, so it's very, very smart about those game situations.
So I take it you focus grouped it out with coaches and players alike?
Exactly. I grew up son of a football coach and had football coaches all around me, high school, college, pro, so we've consulted with them on this outcome decision engine to make sure that the right plays do the right thing. So if I call a shotgun draw against a nickel, it's the right outcome. Although random generated, there are each play is weighted against each other play.
So are there quarters of play? How does the time of it go?
Yep, exactly. So you basically, each play will consume a certain amount of time off the clock, and then you'll basically play through that game. So just back and forth and back and forth. And like I said, we'll be tweaking these things over time, but so far it really feels a lot like a Words with Friends game. It can go really fast, or you can take some time. And what's nice is the personal commitment is not tremendous, and you get to time slice this into your day. So it's really a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's essentially you've got a typical scoreboard, or the score, and what quarter we're in, how much time's remaining, calling the plays. We really tried to make it kind of old school football, so it's got a very much X's and O's on a chalkboard feel. So we try to get away from the Madden and all the crazy controls and plays and all that type of thing, and really just have it to where it's smash mouth, go get 'em football, to where I call a play, my opponent calls a play, and we run through this decision-making engine to see what the result is, and then you do it again.
What about novices? Can they play this game if they don't know much about football, or they're just new to the game?
Definitely. It's advanced enough that a big football fan with a lot of knowledge can play it, and my wife, who's Canadian and understands hockey a lot better than football, can also play it. And nice thing is, learn a lot about football. She's learned more about football playing this game than she has watching for the last 5 years.
My guests today, Engage Mobile founders Darren and Clawson and Matthew Barksdale. They've been working on rolling out, have just released the Versus Football asynchronous turn-based football application. Chris Austin has been the creative force behind this application, just available this past weekend. What about special teams? I mean, does it have every element of a football game, or is it restricted to just offense and defense?
Yeah, so we do have special teams, so you've got punts and punt blocks, and so kind of the way the model is going to work is you start off with a base playbook, the app is free, and everybody can be competitive and enjoy the game. Then you'll also be able to buy special plays. So we'll be growing the playbook options over time, and as we start creating, we can generate more and more and more plays so you can grow your playbook over time. And that's really the underlying business model behind the application. Freemium model with upsells to grow your playbook so you can be more competitive amongst your friends. Yeah,
so it's a situation, if it's 4th and 8, you're going to punt. So you bring your punt team on, your opponent calls a punt return, just like regular football.
Yeah. So, but as you get along and you get more, as it gets more competitive, you get more engaged with the app, you may want to buy some extra features.
Exactly, and we did things like that are very current now, like the read option. And we did some old school plays like the 46 defense and toss power trap, which the Kansas City folks will know from way back when in Super Bowl IV. So there's a little bit of everything, old school and contemporary.
Chris, what are you doing now? Well, I'm sorry, Matthew.
No problems. I mean, my daughter is 15, my son is 13, and they don't know what any of those words mean, but they love playing the game. So you don't have to know the nuances of the plays to really enjoy playing it.
Chris, what are you doing right now in California?
I work in marketing and then founded this company, so we're pretty excited.
All right, and then the quick headline about Engage Mobile, Matthew?
Yeah, so Engage Mobile, we develop software for mobile devices, for iPhone, Android, iPad, and essentially we are fantastic at development, primarily in business, but we're really more focused also on the strategy of helping companies achieve their goal and doing that through mobile. So Darren and I, we're business guys. But really the tool we use to help our clients is mobile.
And Darren, you have some deep roots in this kind of stuff. Spent some years at Cerner?
Yeah. I was one of the first 1,000 at Cerner. So just So I was there for 12 and a half years and really moved and did a number of different things inside of Cerner, tremendous growth. But I actually started the mobile development team there in early 2000, so I think it was 2001 or so. So, yeah, I've been doing mobile for a very, very long time, and I'm very passionate that the technology is fundamental and even going forward is going to be even more instrumental in how we interact.
These guys have big smiles on their faces. Looks like they're having fun doing this job and rolling out a Versus Football app. Let me know how it goes.
Perfect.
Congratulations.
Thanks for having us.